It was like as an African dude that originally, made that song. Mama said "Kakamakumakusa," because I was hearing that when I was a baby, and then when you were sharing that Thriller album, you want to be starting something, and then he kind of used it at the end, and yeah, so that was like a lawsuit that Michael he had to pay the guy for the copyright. So,
Mhm.
yeah. Well, the next topic, I mean, it's the Masters of the Universe. Yeah, I was watching it the other day, like a couple of times and stuff, and this came out with it was released August 7th, 1987. And when it hit the theaters, it didn't really do well. It was like a 22 million budget, and yeah, I could play some clips of it.
Card, prepare the battle station.
Surely you agree with Skeletor's. Here. Warlord, let's go.
Signal the retreat.
You will no longer stand between me and my destiny.
Will, I told you it was always between us.
It is smash you out of existence. To drive your cursed face from my memory forever. Yes! Let this be our final battle!
Yo, the Frank, I'm not gonna lie, Frank Langella, he played Skeletor really good, man. It was, man, like it was really, I don't know, like what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's almost like you want to, it's like you want to imitate him as Skeletor, like for some reason, I don't know if Gerard Leto could top that Skeletor. I don't know, man.
That's the thing. It's like I said, every actor's gonna have a different version of it. That was for us when we were kids. It wasn't the same as we look think about the cartoons. There were some characters
Yeah,
that weren't
no, it
in the.
wasn't.
It was characters that wasn't in the original cartoon that was in the movie. Like the one dude with the hair and the hook. The one guy with the eye patch.
I
Uh,
don't know what they. It's like they just made these things up, like for the movie. I mean, but you got to look at it at the time in the '80s. I don't know why they made it, but they did the best they could. But at the same time, it's like it wasn't really a Masters of the Universe movie. I don't think it was that bad. Like even just looking at it now, because I was looking at it like days ago, and I'm like, there was some flaws. There's flaws in that movie. There's flaws, but it wasn't bad in a sense. It was like a sci-fi movie, but it wasn't like you said. It wasn't the Masters of the Universe where he transformed Prince Adam transformed into He-Man. He didn't even say by the power of Grayskull. He grabbed the sword. I have the power, and it just those elements wasn't there. Even like the villains, like the only person, the couple of people that was there was of course Skeletor, Evelyn, and Beastman. They had all these other characters, Blade. They had some serpent guy, and then Skeletor disintegrated him at one scene. You know, I mean the one I played, I like that scene because it was like they was clashing on that. You know that I like that scene from the movie. That's like the best scene of the movie for me.
Yeah, like
But
I
I
said,
mean, but and you know what the funny part is? During that time, the Fat Boys they had a movie at that same time, and the Fat Boys movie Disorderly did better than the Masters of the Universe.
but Fat Boys were pretty popular then. They were
Yeah,
on tour, they were rapping. They did. I think a couple years for that, they did the movie. Was it Crush Groove? Yeah, the Crush Groove,
yeah. Some of the
and
movies I ain't see like that. I
yeah,
remember I seen Wild Style, Beat Street. Yeah, but I know that they was in a movie. Yeah, you're right. They was in a movie. I think LL Cool J was also in that.
yeah, because it
Yeah,
was like, it was
yeah,
Run DMC, LL Cool
yeah,
J,
right.
quite a few other rappers that were. I think was no Kumo D was in that. Was in Beat Street. It was one of the movies I remember.
Yeah,
Um, Master Universe, when like say we didn't go to the movie to see it. We came out. It was like in the went to get it from our local video store that was here in Roland.
mm,
That we can go to movies as often every now and then, but
yeah.
most times it's got movies at the video store.
I didn't see it in the movie theater. I seen it on TV, and that'd be like what, like that'd be like in the sixth grade or something like that. Because I remember I wanted to see it when it came out, but I wasn't able to. I was restricted at one point, and yeah, they at that time they had RoboCop. They had RoboCop came out in July, and then that came out in August. I was like, damn, they got the movies, and I couldn't go out, but I seen it, on TV, and it. I knew there weren't like elements in it. I had to be realistic on it because at that time, the special effects wasn't there, even to make Arco or anything like that, even Battle Cat. I think they were just I think at one point they was trying to instead of placing it on Earth, they was gonna place it in Eternia, but the thing is it was the budget. So they couldn't do all that. So,
Castle and other stuff and the ships and stuff like that.
yeah,
It's it been a expensive movie to work on.
yeah,
I mean, Dolph Lundgren right there alone, it was just maybe it was a couple years after he did Rocky 4
right,
when he did this movie. He did Rocky 4. I think he did a couple movies before that. Rocky
yeah.
4, then Master Universe. He did the Red Scorpion movie and a couple other movies.
The Universal Soldier with John
Yeah,
Claude Van Damme.
that
That
was
was
in
like 90 something,
91,
92, 90.
92.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
around that.
And then
Yeah.
he actually was it 2 years later he did the Punisher movie.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he did that. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't, but I mean, both movies that he did, it wasn't that bad. It just kind of. I was
Yeah.
thinking, I was telling somebody about this upcoming Master of the Universe that even though they have these special effects, it may I would I don't know it'd be funny if it doesn't top the 87 version of Masters of the Universe. That'd be crazy, you know.
Well, like I said, people will go for nostalgia, especially people around our age who remember the old animated series, who remember the old movie, who want to see what this movie's gonna be about. I mean, like I said, like I said, I don't go to movies. I haven't been in one in a long time. It probably I don't do streaming, so maybe it'll pop up on YouTube
Yeah.
in a couple of years. Or no, not a couple of years. YouTube back in the day took forever for movies to come out, you know,
Yeah,
on video. or get the
This is
TV.
the picture of the upcoming this Dolph Lundgren and Nicholas Galantine, and that's Idris Elba. I forgot. I don't know who was his name was Man at Arms, but yeah, these the comparisons. The
Meg
Evelyn,
Foster, she played Evelyn.
yeah, this is the new Evelyn. I think her name is Allison Brie. Yeah, Allison Brie is Evelyn, and you got Camila Mendez as Tila. Yeah, Moreno back Corinne as the sorceress. Kristen Wiig is, I heard she's supposed to be the voice of Robo, and James Purefoy as King Randor. Yeah, I was watching some He-Man episodes of I see I was watching I was catching on the sorceress origin, how she became the sorceress. These mutants, they was like invading her town, and so she wanted to get help, and so she the one of the I think the wizard or something told her about Castle Grayskull, and so there was another sorceress, and she replaced her to be the sorceress. She gave her like the torch to be sorceress, and so she took out the army of hordes and stuff, and yeah. And then I seen what else I seen? I seen the episode with Many Faces. Yeah, he was the actor that he changed his face.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had there's a lot of characters.
Yeah, that's the
Fisto.
thing too. That's what it takes away from the movie, the 87 one, man. It's like, wow, what happened to these characters?
And that means you have to create. You have to. I don't know. Either it should have been an issue when it comes to you know if this is a if whoever, like I said again, whoever created the original animated series is it's based on a comic book. It
Yeah,
shouldn't have been an issue to bring these characters, but my guess was because of whatever cost they try to save on this movie. Because you got to think about it, it's a big
yeah,
sci-fi epic. It looks like the same style of like Flash Gordon. I don't
right.
know if it's the same director or not. You know, and they felt like all these other characters, like I said again, they do it in Eternia, would have been a lot more expensive because, well, you had to make it look a certain way, the castles, stuff like that, and so that's why I decided just, have it like in Earth and running around, and then just do the castle scene for the battle.
Yeah, yeah. This is another clip I could show you.
Finally, after all these years, I shall return to the big screen. Now, everyone will know the name and the true power of Skeletor. Now, who will be casted as me then? Oh, God, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, John Leto, he has a bad rap of playing actors certain roles. They didn't like him as the Joker, and then he was in Morbius. Yeah.
I think the
Mm,
thing, he can't carry too many certain roles too well. I mean, I think one of
yeah.
his best roles when he played a cross dresser with that movie with Matthew McConaughey. I think it was
Yeah.
the yeah that won
Mm,
him an Oscar.
mm,
Playing the Joker in the Suicide Squad. He did get
mm.
to play it again in the Zack Snyder you know JLA that stream sequence.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't. Yeah, he did. He was in the Zack Snyder one. Yeah, he was like in the future, and
Yeah.
he's trying to help Batman and stuff, and Batman wanted to kill him at one point. He was tempted and wanted to kill Batman, but yeah, he was in that. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, he's not really. Um, they don't really favor. favor him to be Skeletor, but who knows how this gonna be? We don't really know. So
The thing about this version of Skeletor is CGI compared to when Frank Magellan plays it. It was like a mask.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you
But
have to.
the thing he played that Skeletor really. I heard that that was his favorite role. Um, with Skeletor. In a couple interviews, he said that Skeletor was his favorite role, and he played it well too. Like he could have been Mumra if they had like a Thundercat movie, but I know that it wasn't gonna happen. But
It's still dragging on that. Teenage.
yeah, I know, right? It's been
Yeah,
decades, right?
yeah. Teenage Turtles had at least two.
Yeah,
The whole Transformers series.
yeah,
Now a second He-Man movie coming out. And Thundercat should have been done 20 years ago.
yeah, yeah. They could have done that 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, people been waiting for it. Like sometimes on YouTube, I see like somebody did like a fan rendition of it. Like they took and they designed like the actors and dressed up as Thundercats and like that. I've seen a
Yeah,
couple videos on it, but it should be about like 80 stuff is the classic 80 animation stuff and TV shows is it's nostalgia.
yeah.
And I don't know who because the Thundercats is owned by Warner Brothers. They own the rights to it because they own
Oh
Silverhawk.
yeah, they did a reboot of that. I remember that. That was
Yeah,
like 2010. I remember that.
yeah, I watched it a few
Yeah,
times. It just
yeah, it wasn't that bad. What I liked about it, I think it broke down. It explained some things, that the original series didn't explain a bit, like the origin. It wasn't bad. I mean, I don't take nothing away from the original. I mean, the original that's what started it all. But there was things that it wasn't explained, and I think that reboot it kind of explained things like how Mumra became Mumra, that certain origins of the Thundercats members. Yeah, I remember that. It wasn't that bad, but it didn't stay long. It
because
didn't.
toy sales. That's the thing is a lot of TV shows that were on for a certain amount of time were usually trying to sell toys,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they had great storylines, but the toys was the disappointment. Like I was once thinking about Silverhawks. It was a great show. I thought it was on longer than just a year, but they made so many episodes in a year.
yeah,
It seemed like it was on a lot longer.
yeah,
They were basing the success on the toys. The toys didn't make money because that's the way how they paid for the TV show because some of the toys. Some cartoons made a lot of money. That's why it stayed on so long because they were making money from the toys. But
yeah.
now kids don't play toys like that.
Nah,
Most people buying these toys are mostly adults because they want to live that nostalgia when they're coming up. Some like we couldn't afford to get those certain toys. Like we can afford to always get the best toys. Your mom can get what she can afford for us. We were happy with it. We want a little more, but we're happy with it. Every now and then we got like maybe little toys that we wanted, but she had to really dug down deep and get the money out for it.
yeah. I'm gonna play this clip though.
Skeletor has captured Castle Grayskull.
We must stop his evil power.
To Grayskull!
Defeat He-Man's forces, but leave him to me.
Here I am, Skeletor.
He-Man! Skeletor is getting away!
But Castle Grayskull is safe with us.
Nothing safe while Skeletor is out there.
And so the legend continues in this Masters of the Universe collection. And in the imagination of my kids. Look for it. It's new. From Mattel.
Yeah, those was Mattel, Kenner,
The
Tonka.
animation was better than the series. I remember somebody pointed that out. Like somebody brought, yeah, I think, yeah, somebody was bringing that up about how they were like more realistic in that commercial and stuff. Yeah.
That's commercial. That's selling a product. When you come to a
Yeah, I
space
know.
game,
Like I think because the cartoon, it would be a lot of work, and so they kind of simplified it a little bit because the cartoons are what, like 20 minutes long. So it would be tough for them to do that. But I'm not gonna lie, like it would be kind of dope if they did, have like a little series doing that. There was this cartoon. I was watching it. It's not great, like the story, but it wasn't it's not bad. I forgot his name is Ralph Balisky, and he what's the name of this fucking movie? I was watching it not too long ago, but it's like a prehistoric. It's like a prehistoric time, and
heavy
where
metal.
no, not heavy metal. It's fire and ice. That's
Oh,
what it was called. And yeah, it was about this guy. His name was Nimrod, and he was like this king, and he was an asshole basically, and he was suppressing people from the fire world or whatever. And he kidnapped, and one of his armies kidnapped his moms wanted to kidnap the queen of the fire world, and so they kidnapped her, and they brought her to Nimrod. And so Nimrod was like, what is this? I don't want he rejected her basically.
yeah.
So he and then he killed her brothers and stuff. Yeah, but the animation was dope, like the way they did it. It was it's called on rotoscoping. They like trace like real life people, and if you know about that, and they animate them and stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, like growing up, I had like He-Man toys. I ain't had a lot. I remember some of the kids, they had the lunch boxes and stuff. Yeah, I seen the lunchbox, and yeah. What did I have for He-Man? I remember I had that He-Man with the H, and then he flips it on his chest, and it cracks or something like that.
Yeah, I think my brother and my nephew had one of those where you hit it and
Yeah,
you flip it and it dented and something like that. It was
yeah,
yeah, I remember. I think
yeah,
my brother and my nephew had one of those.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was just like I said, the whole toy line was a big thing. They made money
Yeah,
off of it.
yeah, it
But
did.
nowadays, you can't really sell toys to kids. The kids don't buy toys like that.
Yeah,
Adults will because again, they like to remember what like when was a kid, or they couldn't afford the toys when they're coming up when they're younger, and now they had the money and means to get them.
yeah. What toys you had like when you was a kid? Like,
Oh, basics like little balls, cars, toy men.
you know,
One time, my mom got me a robot. It was like it was like a balloon robot. And it was on like a radio control little car out of that and one time I was so distracted because I was looking at birthday presents. My robot walked into the stove and it popped.
well, it was
Yeah,
a cheap toy or something.
no, it was a balloon. It hit the stove. It was hot. It popped.
Oh,
So
oh,
I think my both of my sisters fixed it and we still played with it. We played
oh.
our toys. We just beat them up. They were no more good.
Some kids had better toys than I did. Like I remember this kid had they had like Voltrons. They had the Lions, the car Voltrons. Like I remember when I was in the fifth grade, like some of the most of the kids like in my class, they was collecting GI Joes. And the thing is, if you didn't have that many GI Joes, you was like a loser, really. And I had one toy. I had one the Viper guard from GI Joe, and they
Mhm.
used to laugh at me. You're like, how you know all these names, but you don't have the toys and stuff? Yeah, man. I mean, it was like a new school, and you know, before like the He-Man stuff, it was popular when I was in this other school, but when I was in this new school, it was like GI Joes and Transformers and all that type of stuff, but mostly GI Joes.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah,
think like was it He-Man came first, I think G.I. Joe came after that, and
yeah.
Thundercats came after that. It was like I said again, we had like basic toys, or my mom could afford to get us the nice toys.